I love these raised beds you got with, it's like the natural wood. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so these are, it's actually called a firewood bundle at our local lumber mill. And if you go there, they have really nice, beautiful cut slabs. And then over usually onto the side, they got a big bundle of wood. And you're like, what is this? And they call it their firewood bundles. And what it is, it's slab wood, mostly all hardwoods, because a lot of people do use it for wood burning stoves. And so we had the bundle sitting there, and we really just got it because we didn't know what we wanted to do with it. But we kind of looked at it, we kind of measured out, and for us, at least our kind of rule of thumb, if it's 10 inches, you can probably grow about anything that you want inside of it. So everything was. So he's like, let's try it. Let's try putting it together like that and see if it works. And they've been extremely successful. We really enjoy them. They work really well, and I think we averaged it out per bed was about $5. Yeah. After you count the whole bundle of 35.
Wow, that's
not
incredible.
Counting the soil.
Yes, not counting the soil,
right.
That's for sure.
But man, that's way cheaper than going down to Home Depot and picking up
exactly
the 2x8s and
yeah,
whatever
like
you want to do.
what we have in the back. You know, these big beds that we have, that cost a lot of money.
Yep. So this is sweet. Do you think that other people out there could find something like this? What would they be looking for?
I think you absolutely could. If you just search any kind of lumber mill in your area, and there are. A lot of people don't know that they have them close to them because like this one's tucked away. It was at their house, you know, and it's just a lumber mill. So just search it, one near me on your any kind of search, and you'll find it. But it's called a firewood bundle or slab wood or anything like that. Rough cut slab is what you're going to have. And basically all that means is they've took it through their lumber mill and they've just cut it into pieces off a tree and didn't even worry about taking off the bark or flattening anything, and you'll be able to find it. Yeah.
Now I see this sweet contraption over here.
Yeah.
I want to know more about that.
So that's fun. That is our hoop houses. And so the reason we did these was to grow all year or as long as we can. So we're in zone 6B here. We're in central Kentucky, a little bit more in the northern part. But we don't get that bad around here. It doesn't get to where it's 0 and below often. So we feel like we can grow pretty well, and we took our hand at it last year and we were pretty decent at it. But we're just, every year we like to expand. So that's why we have these hoop houses. And so in here we have kale, Swiss chard, and bok choy. So there's 9 of each of those that's in these, and these beds are 4x12. Okay. So the hoop house is actually on a hinge. So so some of the uniqueness about that, instead of just taking them all the way around and clipping plastic on, this, we can just take it off and on, real nice and easy. Flip it over,
nice, love it.
And we're hooped up.
And then next spring and summer, when we don't need it anymore, we can just take it off and set it aside.
So that's the plan. We'll just take it off the hinges, set it aside, stack them, and they'll be good to go.
Super easy, love it. And you guys have a video on your YouTube channel about how to do this?
We do. Okay, now it's on the other hoop house.
All right. Now, this is the upgraded version.
This is 2.0.
2.0.
So the difference between the two is the frame. So they're both on hinges and they're both on frames and everything's done identical. However, you'll notice there's no wood frame on this one. And so that actually made it bow out a little so it doesn't lay as flush onto the raised beds. It still works just fine and just as good.
It's a little bit more flimsier.
Just a little more flimsy.
More wonky.
Yep.
But it works really nice.
Yes,
Keeps everything warm.
It does, exactly. And it does. Because we hadn't grown pole beans and grow bags on our pallet trellises, so now that we know it's successful, we can plan more next year.
Just fine, and they started growing right up.
So this is just 2 pallets and some cattle panel, and
yep, it's 2 pallets, and then we actually used. If you look over here, we used 2 pallets and then we just attached it with actual pallet wood. So on each side, we have a long one on the bottom and here. That way it stays steady. And then this is actually just some fencing. We did that with this one. It's just a little 1x2 fencing. Or you can use chicken wire, which we have here. It's a little more chaotic, but it still works. In the spring, we actually didn't put any kind of fencing or cattle panels or any of that on our pallet trellises. And it was having a hard time attaching. As you can tell, these are very big, so it was just a miss on our part. And then we realized that we could add some kind of fencing or chicken wire, and it allows all the trellising things to attach a lot easier.
Yeah, I love all the DIY stuff you guys are doing. Yeah. This is like, anybody could do this. This is super cheap, and it works perfectly.
Yep, it doesn't matter how small your backyard is. You can put 2 pallets together and grow something of it, for sure. We've recently emptied this out, so it's pretty low and it's very fresh right now. But everything goes in here. All of our natural compost of any of the food that we eat, any plants that we're pulling out of our garden, which you can see some tomato plants sitting in here. There's a little of our just mulch that we have. But all that stuff goes in here, and then we just toss and turn, and we do hand turning. And like I said, this is just, what, 3, 6, 7 pallets that we just screwed together, and that keeps them live. I have this one that I can pull open easily to get into and kind of hand till. But it's great. I mean, we love it. It also keeps down on waste.
Yeah.
You know, doing this, which is a big component for us to try, especially since we have a landfill in our front yard. You know, we don't want to see that thing getting any bigger. So this is a natural way for us to go down on waste and feed our garden. So this is our pride and joy.
Yep.
Maybe more than even our house. Is our cattle kennel greenhouse. We absolutely love it. We built it in a day.
Yes.
Earlier this spring. We didn't have a greenhouse beforehand. And it's 10 by 16. And it's 4 cattle panels, 16-foot cattle panels that we use this out of. There's a lot of them out there on YouTube, and we searched and watched several videos of how people did it and narrowed it down until we found exactly how we like. And one thing that makes it a little unique is that it's up off the ground 2 foot.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, they put their cattle panels all the way straight to the ground, but I'm not an extremely tall guy, but it seemed like that was going to be a little short.
And the door, we wanted a legit door.
Yeah.
We didn't want to just throw something together, so we had to bring it up so that the door would fit and you could open it and get in and out.
Right, so we got 2 16-foot, 12-inch boards, and then we put the cattle panels on the top of that. So it gave us another 2 foot of height on those cattle panels. So this is actually from a gas station.
Right down the road.
Right down the road. So our local gas station guy, this is how they get their drinks, like all their little sodas and stuff that they have. So we use these trays for when we sell plants in the spring. It's easy to carry them around. And then also,
Like your 6 cells?
yeah, exactly.
Nice. Okay.
And then so with these, we like to use grow bags.
Yeah.
So these little grow bags, they don't sit very well, but they're awesome to use. So with these, we can actually set them in there and they stand upright pretty nice. So something if you're interested in
And they were free, so like
Exactly.
when we sell our starts, which we did a lot of this spring, because this greenhouse made that possible, we were able to start so much more than we needed.
Right.
So we sold a lot, and we just put them in here and gave them to people because these didn't cost us any money. We just asked the gas station if we could have them, and he said, "Yeah, take them, please."
So if you are, you know, if you're sitting there and you're like, man, I want all this stuff, but I don't want to spend a whole bunch of money, like just ask around. That's the biggest thing that we try to do. We also get all of our egg cartons from him too, because he does breakfast and he gets egg cartons by the dozen. So he loads us up with all those. And, you know, we don't have to worry about where we're going to put all of our chicken eggs.
That's perfect. That's a lot of good tips, man. Thank you.